Hello everyone, I'm Woko and welcome to Wokolandia. This project took me a lot of time. The most part was fixing some little error and waiting for the Fimo to dry. But overall the result is something very good. In the previous video I magnetized every single part of this Great Unclean One. In this way I can switch the different type of weapon and head for create a fully customized Great Daemon of Nurgle. But the very cool part starts here. I have 3 different head and 6 different arms with weapon for basically create other 2 Great Unclean One. The only part missing is other 2 big, fat and gross body. And like I said in the other video, on one side this part is the bigger of the miniature, is the probably most expensive in terms of plastic, I don't know, but on the other side is the simple one to recreate. Basically we're talking about a simple giant blob of flesh in decay, and you don't need a lot of fine detail or some masterclass of sculpting for create some head or some arms and hand and cool weapon. You only need something gross and very big for magnetize the head and the other 2 arms. And here after create a support with a plastic ball and some foil, I start using Fimo wire for sculpt this guy. Why I use Fimo wire and not milliput or green stuff is quite simple. Is way more cheap and also is way easy to sculpt, because milliput and green stuff are very sticky. This one is more like a clay. It also need a lot of time to dry, but the result is very cool. Now on one side I really wanna show you every single step of this sculpt, but on the other side is a very long process. Then I don't know what is better, and I don't have a lot to say about that. It's basically me sculpting a blob of clay for create a Great Unclean One. It's basically that. And maybe someone really enjoy watch the full sculpting process. But I know there is some other one who maybe prefers something faster and maybe not jump directly on the final result, but have only some glimpse about the sculpt. And is perfectly okay. I'm the first one when the video is very long, or maybe I'm bored, I start to speed up the video or jump forward, and I know it's perfectly legal. Because of that, trying to make everyone happy, I include the full sculpting process, and is perfectly fine if you speed up the video, because the final result is quite good in any case. And if you see something interesting, you can easily slow down the video. And one last thing to say, I decided to copy the actual Great Unclean One, because I know a demon can be everything, can be something completely different one of another, but I wanna have something who resemble the original Great Unclean One. In the first place, because it's too simple create a snake with the Great Unclean One head, or a big potato with two arms attached and the head in the middle. And don't make a lot of sense make a full video about that. Maybe a short or a reel or a meme, but not a video. And the second point is because I wanna try to recreate another Great Unclean One. Another Great Unclean One miniature from Games Workshop. Something who have already a very iconic sculpt and something you can easily recognize on the battlefield. And actually I don't know if what I do here is legal in a tournament or in a painting competition. I don't know if something like that will be immediately disqualified because the most part is not Games Workshop or fits in some type of category. I don't know, scratch builds or kit bash, I don't know. And please let me know in the comment if this stuff will be allowed in some type of competition or tournament and what you think about that, because I really want to know if you like it. And with that, I'll leave you with my Great Unclean One second body full sculpting process. Enjoy! Here I decide to add some other detail using a piece of toys because I want to make the back of this figure a little more interesting and sculpt an open wound on the back where you see a spine is not so simple. In this way you can add more detail using some piece of broken toys or maybe some beaten part from other miniature. Only remember to glue the stuff in place when the Fimo is fully dry. In this case, I previously pressed a piece of toys on the miniature, creating room for glue the spine after the Fimo was dry. And after that, I fill all the gap and I cover the spine with more Fimo wire for create a smooth transition. And after this step, I keep sculpting the back of the figure. Well, this one is another important point I need to explain. In order to make fit the different head on the same spot, I create a mold using Fimo wire from the original Great Unclean One neck. And after that I use that mold for stamp the same identical spot on the new Great Unclean One body. In this way every single head fits almost perfectly on the new body. Pretty clever idea, And now I need to be very careful. I begin to remove the inside of the sculpture, peeling off every single piece of foil, and after that removing the plastic bowl inside. From the beginning the idea was create a big demonic mouth on the belly. And probably sound nothing special because it's usual from the different bless of Nurgle have a big mouth on the belly, or I don't know, on the arm. But in this case I wanna create something very big and scary. A place where I can put or hide or maybe eat some miniature. For no reason. Because it's cool. After finished to cover the inside of the figure with Fimo wire, waiting for the Fimo wire to dry, I start crafting some little teeth with a normal Fimo. And after bake all of them, I use those little teeth for create the big scary mouth. And even this process is very simple. I use some Fimo wire on the belly, and after that I press every single little teeth inside and I create these big gums. And yeah, it is very simple actually. Also the result is very cool because pressing the teeth inside create this realistic texture is super cool. I like it. And after this step I place the magnets and this custom Greater Daemon of Nurgle is finished. Like always, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe found something useful for your miniature or your hobby. And if you have some question, don't be shy and ask me. I love to answer. Also, let me know what you think about this project. You like it, or is legal, or is not, makes sense to spend a lot of time for create a second unclean one, or is better buy another kit. And remember to like, share and subscribe is the best way for support the channel and is completely free. And now, after a simple black primer and zenithal highlight, I leave you with my new custom Great Unclean One. Enjoy!